Hey, we got Drewz Viewz here, and I'm back for a little Anime Monday, wherein I react to some anime on Monday. Pretty self-explanatory. And today I'm going to be watching episode 24 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. 24 of, I believe, 28 episodes of the first season here. I gotta, look when season 2 might be coming out. Hopefully it's soon, but yeah. We're getting pretty near the end, and last time we began conquering the old labyrinth. So, yeah, Frieren, Fern, and all the other new characters we've met in the past arc of episodes for the first class mage exam here. They are all, the ones that passed stage 1 all have to conquer this labyrinth. That was the task set by Sense, the little girl-looking proctor who's a pacifist. She doesn't want violence, I guess. But yeah, there's some kind of clone monsters in this labyrinth that are trying to defeat the people down there. So I think that's mainly going to be what this episode's about. It's called Perfect Replicas. So yeah, it ended with the clone of Frieren not attacking Frieren herself, but attacking Denkin and his squad, which started as 5, is down to 4. He has the 2 people from stage 1, his team, and then there was 2 other girls. The guy from their team split off and started a whole debate of whether we should work together or not. Denkin wanted everyone to work together. Most people disagreed, but mainly that one guy started it off, but the 2 girls from his team went along with Denkin. However, one of them's already out. She's about to get crushed by some spikes. Sense gave them all these golem kind of things in a bottle you smash, and then it was kind of cool. It kind of like popped up like a Titan from Attack on Titan or something and grabbed her and ran out. So at least people won't be dying in this one if they go with the bottle breaking thing. And at the end of the episode, Denkin's like, I wouldn't smash it already if it wasn't a test, because now he's got to face Frieren again, one way or the other. Yeah, Frieren herself took Fern, and she didn't seem to think working together with everyone was a good idea. So kind of think it's going to prove not to be. We'll see. I see where Denkin's coming from, but it seems like maybe it's not the best idea. Everyone can't work together, but who knows. Clearly setting up the debate there, though. That's interesting. And Sense decided to follow Frieren and Fern, thinking they were the most interesting people to follow. She's interested in Fern. She was saying, like, why are you in this? There's a little bit of a theme of Fern having to, like, explain why she's doing it or realize that for herself. Right now she's saying just to see, like, Frieren happy, but I think she needs something more than that. We'll see. But Frieren was happy getting whatever other people think is trash. We saw flashbacks too to the dungeons, back stuff with Himmel, and he likes exploring the dungeons. Now she does too. The journey, not the destination sort of vibe. She is getting caught in mimics again. We realize that's why whenever we see little flashes of her with her head stuck in a chest that's a mimic, to push out, not pull out to get her out. So that was, some good humor there. But yeah, we'll see if Fern and Frieren have to fight some clones. I would think they would. Everyone else is. We saw Warble's team fighting them, which were clones of themselves, it looked like. Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and get into the episode here and see what happens, see what the action is. It's Perfect Replicas. Let's do it. Let's see if they do a typical kind of cold open where it's like what we saw last time. Yeah. There's Warble's team. And there's the Frieren. We'll see. Not looking too confident. Who are these guys? Oh, is this the monster that's making the clones? Yeah, they mentioned memories last time. The Einsam, yeah, that's the one we'd seen before that I was talking about last time. I guess these are more proctors for the exam.
なぜ前世祭は自分と互角なさずに倒すには自己分析とチーム
You need some teamwork. Are we gonna see that one guy went by himself getting owned?
実に平和主義
Yeah, but since they're not fighting themselves in this case, because what's her name there did have to fight herself. They fought the clone for our last episode.
どうしたものかの
行き止まりか。
Oh, here's Ubel and Land.
得られちゃったね。
So he got messed up. Oh, by the Ubel clone, who took their golem. Uh-oh.
分身魔法の専門家として。
Oh, right, he did. Makes clones.
僕の名前はラントだって言っ
あの複製体は。
君ってさ、戦いの最中でも上手
Confirmed.
黙ったら死んじゃうよ。
観察してるね。
But the clones don't talk, I guess.
死んじゃうかも。物静
Are they just gonna leave it alone and not do anything?
ってことかな。
喋れないだけだ。あれは僕の懐の瓶を抜き取った。
なるほどね。確かに私
So she still has hers, right?
たのに追撃してこないのはミルを警戒しているからだ。
いたぶるのを楽しんでいるからね。
It's not really watching though, but that would make sense for her. He's looking bad.
ひどい出血だ。メガネ君さ、このままじゃ長くないよ。今のメガネ君。
さあね。
Does he even know?
ふーん。私の瓶使いなよ。
これは君が生き残るためのもの。
じゃあメガネ君、ちょっと待っていてね。
Gonna get his back.
瓶を取り返してくる。まあ距離を詰め、ソルガニールの発動を収めること。やめた方が負ける。実力が互角なら、昔から運が悪いから。
That shouldn't be on theirs either.
嫌いだ。私は私と戦いたいとは思うしょうがないね。やっぱり運が悪い。でも運が悪かったみたいだ。よかったね。
Bang. Is that a different clone or is he just doing that injured?
やっぱり瓶も偽。
Oh. So it was, he
瀕
was.
死の僕が分身だ。なぜ死に急ぐような真似をした。
ると確信したからかな。
So you guys are starting a little relationship.
いや、全然。どうでもいい。ああ、私の瓶を自分のせいで誰ちは、メガネ君のせいで私が。メガネ君、また一つ君のことがわ。
Four eyes can.
か。それは良かったな。
まだ時間はか。
These weirdos.
だいぶ最深部に近づいてる。フリーレン様。フェルン。
Wonder why no clones are attacking them.
このフロアは探索し尽くしたと思います。
Not every corner.
この壁の奥に隠し部屋とお宝だよ。ひょっとすると珍しい女性も。
Or it's a trap.
入り口らしきものはどこにね。
Smash through.
でも構造。
They're going tomb raiding here.
レン様、すごいですね。
Most excited we've seen Fern in a while.
埋葬された王のこれほど保存状態のいいと初めて見た。価値ある発見だ。
Been in here in hundreds of years or something.
そうか。
Fern's like where that grimoire at though.
ギルぐらい順調ですね。
I'd say so.
このまま合格してしまうのでは。
They just gotta get to the bottom or something. What was it? Oh. Did they run away from the Frieren clone?
こんなところに集まって。
I assume we would have seen them fighting it. Unless it's gonna be in a flashback.
この先の広間を越えれば。
それで
ってもう半日になる。
So that's what the Frieren clone is blogging.
面白くなって攻略はこうでなくちゃ。な複製体か。私と同等の力を持っている。
なんとかしない限り最深部へ手立てはあるか。
現したものだとしたら
Grab a
と同じかな。
one of the chests.
押すとしたら
The mimics.
どちらにも耐性があるけれど。
生まれるかもしれん。あればあれを倒せる有小細工は得意だ。
で、
Her name's Method.
これは興味深い。しませんね。いい憎さがなければ通用するはず。私の目を見てください。
Hypnotizer.
精神操作魔フレンさんの精神防御が破れません。ほらほら。
本当に両方とも
精神防御の構築は複雑で類術式のようです。なら脆弱性をつけるかもしれません。
Do you got one?
エーデル2級魔法使いなら可能は皆無な人なので、
Must be on that one other team
魔
that
法
we
は
haven't
相
met
手
too
に
much
心
yet.
がない。
Thought it was like a bald guy on it.
果たして複製体がそこまでさ。
まだまだ情報
Like
が
Frieren
足り
back
ない。
there's like protecting her Frieren from her. I guess.
エーデル
Yeah, that's okay. There's the bald guy in question. So there.
さあの同等の力を持っていると考えても
No, it's a sense clone.
魔力を消して潜伏するにも限界がある。
思うのかブライ。わしはとまともに戦えん。
ダンジョン戦闘に適していません。
Really?
にほとんどのダンジョンが攻略され、力な防御魔法にリソースを利用したものが多くなって売り出すよりも、その場にある武方が魔力の消費が少ないから。
But will a senses
相当
clone
うまく
want to
やって
fight
いる。
since she's a pacifist?
あの紙には幾重もの魔法無数の手段で叩く。わしの見立てではあれには勝てん。髪の毛という数えるのも操るというに格上の魔法を逃げおせたのは奇跡だ。わしらは頑張っ。正直
Oh, you have to hypnotize the Frieren clone.
エーデルお前の声を
確かに精神操作相手に高度な命令の条件できるとすればせいぜい膝
That's what you need for the Frieren.
それでも目
不可能ではないんだな。
があればの話じゃが。
どのくらい時間をかけ
15秒じゃ。
It's,
今にわかる。お全面展開しろ。戦において防御魔法をやるようで叩き壊すか。手数で攻める輩は巨漢のような重い。この全面展開は15秒。
takes you more than 15 seconds to do this speech again.
優秀な魔法
Oh.
ことはよくわかった。
Not gonna be around to
心の働き
do it to the Frieren clone, but I guess she can anyway because this is down out of mind
わ
either.
しらでは絶対に勝てぬ。虎の家を借りるしかない。まで全力で逃げろ。もう帰る。痛い。
Nope.
便利じゃのう。あ
All the little girl mages are getting out.
いるんでしょうか。
を出すつもりなんては
He's the one who said that last time. That's right. Oh yeah, almost forgot about those two. There's the guy by himself. Will everyone have to come back together after all?
現状情報が少ない方がいい。その場合は力技にな。
Try to look a little less excited.
できるのか。
連中だ。より相性は悪くなさそうだ。エレは単純な魔力勝負の殴り合いなら
You're gonna drop something out?
から技。
それでしたらフリーレン様を殺せるかもしれ。そう。
You know her better than anyone else.
じゃあ作戦を立てよう。
Fatal vulnerability. Alright, I guess that's what they need to find in Frieren to defeat her clone. Hypnosis won't work, it has no mind, as we saw with that other team, and the character we met that had to bow out, that they were going to potentially rely on anyway. That's not happening now. So yeah, I was kind of saying it toward the end, but is it the show here setting up where they are all going to have to work together again? Obviously, Fern and Frieren are back with the squad now. You know, Warble's team seems like they might be able to go it alone. He was saying in his mind, oh, we do have a good teamwork and everything. We saw them defeat the one clone there that they're going against. They're with the most mana. So yeah, we saw real briefly Laween and Kana sneaking along there. I wonder if they'll meet up with everyone. The guy that was by himself didn't look like he was doing too well. And yeah, we met the kind of that other team for the first time really with, I was just talking about the girl, Ito, was that her name? But yeah, with the bald guy and the mustache guy. So those two are still left. Maybe they'll be meeting up. Yeah, they had to fight the Sense clone. That thing was too powerful. I was saying, you know, it should be a pacifist, but I guess not. Because it used its hair to go right into Ito's chest. But at least the real Sense gave them those golems to get them out. They're working well so far, 2 for 2 at least. Interesting. So yeah, so the clones they use memories, but they don't have a mind of their own. So I guess, yeah, the Sense clone doesn't remember that she's supposed to be a pacifist. Well, yeah, getting up to this point though, we saw a nice scene with Fern and Frieren and Sense finding that hidden room in the tomb there, or you know, in the whole level they were on of the dungeon that had like a well-preserved mural from like a bygone era. I'm not sure if that was an era before Frieren was alive or not, but it seemed to be long ago. And we got to see some excitement out of Fern, so maybe she is finally, I was talking about it and then showing everything based on last episode, maybe she is finding things that interest her and reasons to keep doing magic and exploring and all that. That's cool. And you know, we saw Frieren, at first she seemed like, oh, she wanted to find something cool in there, to her like a rare grimoire or whatever, but then she was seeing how, you know, Fern reacted and she like smiled at that. And then she really smiled when she saw her clone and saying it's gonna be fun and all that, so that's funny. Yeah, so I guess Fern has some type of plan to defeat Frieren. I wonder what that is. You know, I was joking that they should get a mimic in there, but probably won't be that. Maybe we'll see Fern. You know, Fern is maybe the strongest, like, and people keep saying, oh, she's the youngest mage that's this strong and everything that they've seen, but Mistress Frieren only lets her do defensive magic for the most part, you know, which Ubel was saying was boring and all that. So we'll see if the real Frieren lets her unleash some cooler magic on the clone Frieren. But yeah, speaking of Ubel, the whole first part of the episode was her and Land. We see he's a clone magic guy to begin with, and the one that got injured was a clone. She was trying to get into his mind a little bit, and successfully so, I guess, calculated that they can defeat her clone if she left herself open for him to come in and save her, which worked. So interesting. And then there's something about, can you relate to me yet? Not quite. I don't know. They're both very like awkward in terms of like how they relate to people. But yeah, it's interesting pairing. Yeah, so I wonder if they'll also, you know, meet up with everyone. We'll see. Doesn't seem like they want to, but who knows? And yeah, like I said, we learned more about that other team. We hadn't met too much yet. And they were kind of talking about how magic is now. You know, one thing that's interesting in this series is that magic is like an ongoing thing. It's evolving. We've got it in the past about from the Demon King War. In the past 100 years, you know, magic has been used to counteract what happened there. So humans do a different type of magic because of that. And now like dungeon type magic is like from a bygone era too, because they don't need to do that anymore because all the dungeons were raided long ago. So yeah, that's very interesting how magic is more like a science or something in this series than like some prototypical fantasy thing where it's just always the same. But yeah, I think that'll go ahead and do it for this one. I'm excited to see the fatal vulnerability next episode. episode 25. Do join me back for that one. And until then, I will be up on out of here. Peace.
こいらが潮時じゃろう。